Diego, you got New England, obviously matchups that nobody saw coming. I mean, I went 0 for 4 on my picks last week.
Did you?
Yeah, I took Jacksonville, I took Seattle, and I took obviously the 2 home teams that lost.
Okay.
Did you take all 4 home teams? I don't remember.
No, well, I had Indy, so I
Okay.
lost out on Indy. I did have New England beating Jacksonville.
Okay.
I did have Green Bay because they're my Super Bowl pick for the NFC. But I think I picked Dallas. I'm pretty sure. I think I went 2-2.
So you went 2 and 2.
Yep.
So we got, let's start with the Green Bay and the New York Giants. And obviously the talk right now is going to be the weather. You know, we know how the weather's going to be here in Minnesota. Forecast right now, 6 above in Green Bay on Sunday. Flurries, wind chills anywhere from, who knows, 10 below, 15 below. And here's the thing. If Green Bay was playing, let's say Dallas at home, I think that would be a bigger story. This is the New York Giants. I mean, they're playing an outdoor team, and obviously, I don't think the cold weather is going to have a factor. For the Giants, the colder the better, because they're a team that's used to playing in the swirling winds of the Meadowlands, some bad weather conditions in New York. And I think for the Giants, this weather, story portion of the game is actually not a big deal because they're a team that's used to playing in these kind of conditions.
Right. I think as far as temperature-wise, I don't really care what the temperature is. I just want to know what the wind conditions are going to be because we all know what happened to Favre in Chicago when there was that. I mean, that was, his worst game by far this season. And if you get the winds howling, maybe it's not going to help him so much in Lambeau. And of course, with Eli, you never know what you're going to get. And if the winds are really going, I assume it's going to affect him pretty good as well.
Well, I don't have it in front of me, but I was reading somewhere that when it comes to these games, a lot of times over the last couple of years, one away team has won in the championship game. Now, looking at these 2 games, if you had to go and pick one away team as your team that's going to win, San Diego or the Giants, to me, the Giants would be that pick.
I think so, too.
If you had to pick one away team.
Yeah, I think so, too. Just, San Diego seems like they've got a lot of injury concerns on top of the fact you're going up against a New England team that obviously has not lost the game.
Absolutely. And, looking at weather in Green Bay, it's not even close to what they call the Ice Bowl.
Right.
December 31st, 1967, NFL Championship, Dallas and Green Bay, 13 below, wind chill at 30 below. So it's going to be a sunny day coming up on Sunday. New England's looking like a weather in pretty good shape, sunshine and 23 degrees, the latest forecast in New England. So I don't think we're going to have that blizzard that moved through Green Bay like they did last week when they took on Seattle. But it's going to be some colder temperatures, which I think most football fans like when weather adds a little twist to the story.
Unless you're a San Diego fan. I think even 23 degrees for them, I think they're going to be the team most affected. Even if it's not as bad in New England as what it is going to be in Green Bay, I think there's no doubt that they're the team that's going to have the most effect on this, just because with that climate that they have.
Absolutely.
It's going to affect them. If it affects anybody at all, I think they're the one that's going to be most impacted.
Well, and here's the thing: the big story with that game too. If Billy Volek has to be the starting quarterback for San Diego, and I'm not a huge Phillip Rivers guy because I think he could be better. He makes a lot of mistakes,
and he talks a lot.
Oh God. He just needs to cool it.
He does.
He was talking smack to the fans at Indianapolis, wasn't he, after the game?
Yep.
I'm not a Phillip Rivers fan, but if Billy Bullock's the starter, and obviously if LT's not in the lineup, you really, the odds of them going to New England and winning are pretty slim to none at that point.
Yeah, exactly right. Everything seemed to just work out okay, even though they suffered the injury last week. Things just kind of fell their way to have that happen. Indianapolis made a few mistakes, something that you just don't think is going to happen, and it did. It rolled that way, and you kind of think maybe they used up all their good karma on that one.
Correct. So those games coming up this weekend. Jeff, your predictions. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl on February 3rd?
Okay, so I'll stick with Green Bay. I've gone with them. I had Indy. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So I guess I'll go with Green Bay, New England, which I think will be an entertaining Super Bowl. I'll watch.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And where do they play in the Super Bowl?
Arizona at the new
Cardinals play?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to go with, just because I'm just going to go with the theory that you have to pick one road team, and pretty much just to be the devil's advocate, I'm going to go with the New York Giants.
Okay.
Just because I didn't think they had a chance. Their secondary was beat up. There was no way, even though Dallas had been struggling, that they were going to go in the Big D and win. Tony Romo had a couple of chances at the end to pull that one out of the fire and didn't. Eli Manning looked good. Brandon Jacobs is healthy. Who's it, Amani Toomer?
Yeah, he looked really good.
Plexico Burris. They got some good receivers. Jeremy Shockey. Is he still, or is he?
No, he's been injured.
He's been injured, okay.
Yep.
But their defense, you still got Michael Strahan, who's always a tough guy. I think, and again, it's a little bit with the theory. I have to pick a road team, and my love of the Green Bay Packers. I'll go with the Giants, and I'll go with New England, just because New England's shot to lose, I think, was against Jacksonville. New England's going to win the Super Bowl because the one team that could beat them, I think, was Jacksonville. And Jacksonville had some chances to score more points, but they had to settle for field goals. They turned one or two of those into a touchdown. Who knows? It's a whole different game, and we could be talking about a Jacksonville-San Diego championship game. But when you have your chances to score touchdowns against New England, you have to take them. If you let them go to the side, you're never going to beat the Patriots, ever.
Right. Oh, and without a doubt. I mean, well, we've seen what their offense can do all season long, and I think the one interesting thing is with your matchup is probably the one that like all the advertisers want. I mean, wouldn't they want that New York market?
Oh, East Coast, yeah.
I mean, I think that would be their dream matchup a lot more than. I think that I have to believe more of the fans, especially in this area, would like to see that Green Bay, even though. Minnesota fans, I know we don't like Green Bay, but you'd still like them to be in that Super Bowl and to get pasted, right? I mean, good chance to,
Well, here's the thing. I think Green Bay, well, you saw the Giants playing well in Week 17, but I would think on paper Green Bay would have a better chance at beating New England than the Giants.
Yeah.
Just because
with that beat up secondary,
Tom Brady's going to go crazy. So I think if you're looking for someone to beat New England and stop, if you're not a fan of the chance of a 19-0 perfect season, then you want Green Bay to win because they put up the best fight, the best chance of somebody knocking off the pass.
I gotta agree on that.
So